Welcome to this video on the controversial, no-nonsense path to saving and investing for your first home. Today we'll lay out a strict priority roadmap that starts with stabilization, eliminates costly traps like overspending on cars, and stacks your investments in the right order. We'll also cover how to avoid lifestyle creep so you can translate income growth into tangible wealth. Stick around for quizzes, diagrams, and a practical action plan. Here's the roadmap for today. First, we'll explain why this approach works and who benefits most. Next, we'll cover a quick disclaimer and mindset check. Then we'll move into stabilization with an emergency fund, followed by a deep dive into the car expense trap. After that, we'll stack investments in the right order, show you how to avoid lifestyle creep, and walk through a practical action plan. Along the way, we'll include quizzes and finish with clear next steps. This works because priorities beat distractions. By locking down cash safety first, you build resilience against emergencies and debt spirals. By cutting overspending in areas like transportation, you free cash flow to redirect into savings and investments. Then, by stacking investments in a proven order, you capture employer matches, use tax-advantaged accounts, and protect short-term house funds from volatility. The result is a consistently growing financial base. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Consult a qualified fiduciary or advisor who understands your specific circumstances. Any numbers shown are illustrative examples. Your situation is unique, and your choices should reflect your risk tolerance, goals, and cash flow. Approach this process with radical honesty about your spending patterns. First, we stabilize. Build an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. Keep it in a high-yield savings account for immediate liquidity and safety. The purpose is to protect against job loss or emergencies, and to prevent high-interest debt. For example, if your essential monthly expenses are $2,000, your target emergency fund is $6,000 to $12,000. Choose a HYSA that is insured when possible, has no fees, supports easy transfers, and offers a competitive interest rate. Only after this buffer is complete do you proceed to the investment stacking hierarchy. This flowchart visualizes the decision path for each paycheck. You begin by checking whether your emergency fund in a HYSA is fully funded to 3 to 6 months of essential expenses. If it is not, you loop savings back into the HYSA until it is complete. Once full, you contribute to your employer retirement plan up to the match to capture the free contribution. Next, you fund tax-advantaged accounts like an IRA, and optionally a 529 for children if that aligns with your goals. If your home purchase is within 5 years, you direct house savings into the HYSA to avoid market volatility. If your timeline is longer, you can invest in diversified index funds in a brokerage account. The flow ends with a monthly review and a reminder to avoid lifestyle creep. Next, we address the car trap. If you are spending 25% or more of your gross income on car payments, insurance, and gas combined, that is fiscally dangerous. Cars are depreciating assets, so each extra dollar spent here is a dollar that cannot grow your home fund. To cut fast, consider downgrading your vehicle, refinancing the loan, shopping insurance aggressively, optimizing your driving patterns, or even selling a payment-heavy car. Your aim is to bring total car costs to 10 to 15% of gross income. For example, if your gross monthly income is $4,000, target car costs of $400 to $600. If you are currently paying $1,000, you could potentially free up $400 to $600 per month to redirect to savings and investments. Here's a comparison. Keeping the expensive car often means a high monthly payment, higher insurance and fuel costs, slower progress on the emergency fund, and delays to your home down payment. It also increases your financial stress if you experience a job loss. In contrast, downsizing the car or refinancing typically lowers your payment and reduces insurance and fuel costs. That improves cash flow immediately, speeds up your emergency fund, accelerates your home timeline, and increases your resilience to financial shocks. Now let's turn this into action. First, list your essential monthly expenses such as rent, utilities, groceries, minimum debt payments, and basic transportation. Second, compute your target emergency fund by multiplying those essentials by 3 to 6 months, choosing the time frame that matches your job stability and risk tolerance. Third, open a high-yield savings account with no fees, easy transfers, and a strong interest rate, and consider naming it emergency only to reduce the temptation to spend it. Fourth, automate transfers on payday and increase the transfer amount as you lower transportation expenses. Fifth, audit your transportation costs, get multiple insurance quotes, and price out reliable downsize vehicles. Sixth, Track spending weekly and cancel subscriptions that do not add real value. Redirect every dollar freed up to your HYSA and later to investments. Finally, set a monthly review to adjust and to prevent lifestyle creep. This pie chart displays a sample budget after a car downsize. Essentials represent 45%. Housing rent is 25%. Reduced car costs are 10%. Savings to the emergency HYSA are 10%. Retirement investments are 7%, and the house down payment fund is 3%. The key takeaway is how lowering car costs opens room for both safety savings and targeted investments. Then, once your emergency fund is complete, you prioritize the employer match in your retirement plan because it is effectively free money. After that, fund tax-advantaged accounts, such as an IRA. And consider a 529 if you are planning for children's education. If your home purchase is within 5 years, keep the down payment funds separate and safe in a HYSA to avoid stock market volatility. If your timeline is longer than 5 years, you can invest in diversified index funds in a taxable brokerage account for potential growth. Throughout, research first-time homebuyer programs that can lower your required down payment. Quiz time. The question is, if you plan to buy a home within the next 5 years, where should you keep your down payment funds? The options are A. Diversified index funds in a brokerage account. B. Crypto for higher returns. C. A high-yield savings account separate from other funds. D. Individual stocks picked monthly. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. With a short time horizon of 5 years or less, capital preservation is critical. You should keep your down payment funds in a high-yield savings account, separate from other money, to avoid market volatility that could reduce your principal right before you need it. Meanwhile, as your income increases, commit to saving 100% of each raise for a defined period. Keep your lifestyle flat and route the entire difference into investments and your down payment fund. Automate those increases on payday, so the extra never lingers in your checking account. Review quarterly to ensure spending has not crept up. This discipline converts income growth directly into accelerated financial independence. Here is a quick table of common first-time homebuyer programs. FHA loans allow lower down payments but require mortgage insurance. VA loans offer 0% down for eligible veterans and do not require private mortgage insurance, though there may be a funding fee. USDA loans also allow 0% down in eligible rural areas, subject to income and geography limits. The conventional 97 option allows a 3% down conventional loan, where stronger credit can reduce mortgage insurance. Additionally, many states and cities provide grants or assistance for down payments and closing costs. Check your state housing agency. Here's another quiz. What is a dangerous threshold for total car costs relative to your gross income? Options are A. 5%, B. 10 to 15%, C. 25% or more, D. Any amount is fine if you like the car. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. Spending 25% or more of your gross income on transportation is dangerous because it restricts cash flow, slows savings, and delays your home purchase timeline. These are the key takeaways. First, fully fund 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a high-yield savings account before investing. Second, reduce car costs to 10 to 15% of gross income. Third, stack investments in this order: employer match, then IRA or 529, then house funds in HYSA if the timeline is 5 years or less, and finally, a taxable brokerage for long-term goals. Fourth, save 100% of raises to defeat lifestyle creep. Fifth, research first-time buyer programs to reduce your required cash outlay. To wrap up, start today by listing your essential expenses and setting your HYSA target. Audit your car costs and take decisive action to downsize or refinance if needed. Automate transfers to build your emergency fund first. Then stack your investments in the proven order. Finally, lock in your progress by saving raises and reviewing your finances monthly. Thanks for watching. If this was helpful, please like the video, share it with someone who needs a financial reset, and subscribe for more practical content. In the comments, share the boldest savings move you will make this month.